Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel Tutor Things. Today in this video we are going to see Angular CLI commands. So what are the commands we generally use in Angular application to generate different kind of things we are going to see in this video. So before getting started into this video, I want to mention one thing, that is, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon so that you will never miss any update from us. You already know we have started Angular tutorials. We have uploaded different kind of concepts related to Angular, like basic things you should know before getting started into Angular. We have done videos, so if you haven't watched those videos, go to my channel and you will find a playlist called as Angular. In that you will have all the Angular related concepts videos line wise, so don't miss any videos. Each and every video is very important. It will cover some concept of Angular, so watch all those videos and come to this video if you want to know about Angular CLI commands. So if you are new to Angular, like you don't know this Angular commands exist, so some commands will exist to create different kind of things in Angular. So Angular CLI commands are there, like you know about CLI. This is a command user interface, right? So to generate any kind of things, we have to tell Angular to generate these components or these components. For the first time to create any new application, we already used one command, that is ng new and the app name which you are going to create. So if you want to create my app, any application with my app name, you have to give that name in this command. So ng new my app. So by giving this, it will create a new app is nothing but is a one of the folder which is having some all the dependencies which are used to build an Angular application or run an Angular application. You have already seen previous video, like how to create your first Angular project. In that we used this command and created some folders like load modules and all these dependencies and all these predefined files will generated by using this command. So while running this command, whenever not only Angular CLI, you can after downloading Angular CLI also, you can run these commands in your command prompt also. So downloading Angular CLI is important before getting started into Angular part. You have already know, we have done a video. If you go through that video, you will understand like how to download Angular CLI. And before that Angular CLI, what things you have to know in Angular, like node and node npm and node.js and npm things will be needed in Angular. So JS environment should be there, right? First of all, before creating this project. So we have done a video on how to download node.js and npm also. So you will find the description in the links in the description box. You can go through those videos to download the things which are needed before starting into Angular. So let's see the commands here which are listed here. Generating a new components. For generating new projects, what you need is you have to give ng new command. So ng new command and followed by the app name, ng new my app. So if you want to write into that any file, like if you don't want to write in any file and just report them likewise only, then you have to give ng new my app and dash dry dash run. So by giving this, you no need to write the files, you can just report them, like only building them is enough, so no need to write in that. So then use this command. So after giving ng new and app name, it will ask you two things. One is do you want to routing in this or not. So if you give s, the routing will be routing will be preferred and the particular files related to routings will be generated if you give s. So app routing.module.ts file, that is the routing file that will be generated if you give an s. So the next question that will ask is if you want css in your thing, or what type of styling you want, like sass. So what type of styling it will ask. If you give any css or any other things, that will take those things and create related files. So instead of that, when you are giving in the command only, you can specify those stylings or routings. Likewise, instead of asking questions by giving ng new single command, so it will ask you two questions. So unlike that, you can while giving the command only, you can specify whether you need routing or whether you need what type of styling. Likewise, like you can see here, ng new my app name and dash style sass, like I want to give sass styling. So styling should use sass. We are telling the Angular application to build an Angular application which is using this kind of stylings. Likewise, you can use dash styling and you can give the specified name for the styling. This is sass styling, sass, and that kind of styling will be developed in that application. So next, routing also similarly, you can specify that routing, what kind of routing it is, you should have routing or not in that app. So ng new my app and dash ng4 dash routing. So by giving this thing, the routing classes will be included in your Angular application. So you can also set the default selector for your thing, like a default selector as prefix. One of the, you can give any prefix like selected root or default selector. Likewise, ng new my app and dash dash prefix mp. So here example, mp will be the default selector will be there. So generally without specifying this, you have an app root, that kind of thing, that is a default selector as an app component will be there. So after index.html file, the particular app root will be the default selector. So unlike that, you can also specify the default selector as a prefix thing. So next we have a lint in. So what is this lint in a TypeScript means? It will create you the things which are used to maintain stability or codability or readability of the code in the TypeScript. We use this lint kind of thing. So this make that TypeScript code which you have written as readable and compatible. Likewise, so we use this, but you can ignore this thing at the starting point. If you are at starting level, linting is one kind of thing. We can do that by using ng-lint command, so that the lint files will be generated. If it's a TypeScript, t-lint will be generated. Likewise, so next, generating components. From here you have to be more concentrate on that. So generating components to you also know about components, right? In the structure we have developed in the previous video to this, we have discussed about the Angular app structure, like what are the things present in the folders and what are the folders are generated after creating your project. So we have seen that. In that, the default component will be the app component we have shown you. So what is meant by component and what is meant by directives and pipes, all these things I will explain you each individually in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned. So in this video, just I am telling like how to create that by using CLI commands, mainly how this CLI commands will be there for each individual things. I am just listing in these videos and just telling that to remember those things, but a practical purpose I will show you in other video, like individual concepts I will take you and explain. At that time I will show you how these things will be created and how we have to specify those commands in the CLI. If not only CLI, you can also use terminals. If you have opened that application, any IDE, like for example Visual Studio Code you have opened, you can go to terminal, you can give this command so that the particular component will be generated in your application. Okay, so generating a new component, you have to specify a command called nggc and a component name. If it is a my component or login component or home component, like that you can specify the name of that component you want to give. So here ng is nothing but npm we are using, that's a short form of npm, ng, and g is nothing but generate. To generating component we are telling npm to ng generate c is nothing but component. So generate component and the component name you have to specify. These four parameters you have to specify: ng, g, c, and the component name, my component, or likewise. So this is all about generating a component. Whenever you give this command, the four related component files will be generated. So this is the generating of components. Next, directives. So generating directives also similar to components, but the thing it differs is instead of c we have d here, ng, g, d, and the directive name which you have to give. So my directive. Likewise, so this is creating a new directive command will be like this: ng means npm generate and directive d. So generate directive and name of the directive. So like this. So generating the directive in your own component, so own folder, like while creating derivative, what it will do means it will create a new folder. Likewise, so if you don't want to create a new folder, you should create in your application folder only the directive. Means you can generally give this flat. One of the property that we have is a flat property. So dash flat false, you have to give flat false. Then what it will do means it will don't create a don't create this my component folder. So it will in that particular thing only it will create your directive, what is a my directive. Likewise, so by giving this flat false, by giving this flat property as false in that particular command, CLI command, that will create your directive in your own folder only. It will not create a my component folder there. So this is the nothing but generating a directives. Next, generating pipes. So generating pipes is also similar to kind of things like ng generate pipe, my component. You can also specify the full concept like GENERAT, generate full names also, or shortcut names also you can specify. Ng generate pipe p and name of that pipe. You got to know that concept of pipe in upcoming videos, so why we use pipes likewise, so for filters, so different kind of things are in Angular. So I will tell you all the things in upcoming videos. Just understand how these commands are different for each individual, creating different kind of things. So nggp and pipe name. So my pipe generating modules also similar to this. So ngg module, so there is no shortcut here, you have to specify module and name of that module. ngg module, my module name. So next, if you want to generate other files also in the module, like a module.ts file or module routing file to that module, so all these things also you can do. Routing things also you can include for the particular module, like ng module, the name of the module to which you want to routing, then you have to give routing property, dash routing. So you no need to give true or false, because it defaultly take that for true. So that's why the routing will be there for the particular module file. So ngg module and module name, routing dash routing. So that routing property we have to give for that command. So so my module .ts file will have this, my module dash routing dash module.ts file will be also generated by giving this kind of commands. Next, coming to generating services, third column. See the first thing. So third column, generating services we have already discussed in the structure. So these are the interaction things, like it will give you connection between backend and your particular what you call as a front end. That's an Angular application. So coming to each individual component TS files and backend web API or from C# kind of things or codes. So give connection between these two things, we use services, like HTTP calls can be done by using these services. So generating a new service, how you can create a new service, like ngg yes and service name you can give. So generate service, so shortcut form of ngs, but you can also give generate service and name. Ng should be common for all these commands, you have to observe that one thing. So ng generate service and service name. So also not only by giving ng commands, you can also create all these things by using the folders, but the boiler code which you have getting by using these commands will not present if you do manually by creating folders. Components also you can create one folder, you can give dot component extension to that, and you can create individual kind of things like .css, .html, .ts file and spc.ts file. So all these things you can create by giving dot component extensions. But you don't have the boiler kind of content, like you will not have all the things predefined in that kind of things. You are creating new file, then it will be empty, right? So if by giving these commands, it will consider that file as particular service or particular component or particular pipe. So it will give the boiler code, like a predefined code will be generated by using this CLI command. So I prefer everyone to use this CLI commands to generate any kind of things instead of going manual creation of folders likewise. So next step, we are in the point called include generating services, second point. So include the provider service into the app.module.class. So we have one thing, that is app.module. So if you want that class in the provider service, like provider services is nothing but a TS files where we have a different kind of classes likewise. If you want to get a one class default, then you can mention that particular class name in the CLI command itself, so that will create by default. So provider service is into app.module class, we are creating this service in that app module class. So ng service, the name of the service, and we are providing provider service into which class, app.module class. So I have to specify these kind of command, then it will create related to that class likewise. So next, after services we have gods. So what is this gods means, it will guard your application, like what type of things, what type of commands only to allow, or what kinds of things not to allow your application. So all these things can be safeguarded by this guards. We know, like guarding your application, they can activate guard guard.ts. So you have this guard related files also by having .guard extension. So authorization can be done by using this auth files. So name of that you can give as auth. So to generate these kind of auth files, what you have to do is you have to give command as ng generate g guard and name of that guard file, like auth or authorization.guard.ts. These are the TS files only, TypeScript files, but the command should be like this: ng generate guard auth. So you can see the for module there is no shortcut as M. So for guards you don't have shortcut as G. So because it will mix, right, generate G will be same. So we have guard, you have to write full name of guard. So ng g guard auth. So this is all about generating a guard. So next we have build command. So after creating all these things, you have to build your application, right? So to building application, we have to know ng build command. So basically ng build command is for a dev environment. So dev related build files will be generated by giving this command. So if you want to generate other kind of environment files, you have to specify that particular environment after ng build. So for example, if it is a prod, ng build prod dash prod, this is nothing but prod property we have to give for the particular build. So output build prod files will be generated by giving this command ng build prod. So next so basically related prod files will be generated. Instead of building also, you can run direct application by serving application, like ng serve we have. So serve is a build dev build in memory, like ng serve. By giving ng serve you can do build and compile and run also. These three things can be done at this one time by giving this serving commands. So ng serve is a serve a build, dev build will be served in memory, so that your application will go or hosted in a web host, like that. So sorry, local host. So next along with that serving also, you want to launch the application, like by giving ng serve you can make a build and also compile and running of application, but you have to go to that local host 4200 and you have to open that. So the browser will not launch. To make that browser launch automatically, we have to give one more command, that is ng serve -o. So sorry, ng serve -o. So by giving this command, you can also launch the application along with serving the application. So this can be done by using this ng serve -o. So these are the build commands and serving commands. You can you ignore build commands, you can directly serve your thing, so that will automatically build your thing. So if you want to only build for production purpose, you want to only build, then you can use ng build prod kind of things. So likewise you can develop different building files also. To make these files, we use environment variables and angular.js file to configure this build kind of things. Configuration, all the things is the other part, just commands we are explaining in this video. So next after this, you can see the fourth column, that is generating classes. So in Angular we have classes also. So generating classes or model classes, what we have to do, the command will be ng generate cl. So here we will don't have c, because you can see if you give ng g c, it will consider that as a component. So to differentiate that it is a class or component, we have cl. So ng generate cl, that is nothing but class, and the name of the class, my class model. So the name of the class will be there. So difference between generating components and classes you have to see. So ng g cl and name of that class, my class model. If it is a component, ng g c and component name. Next we have interfaces. So generating interfaces, how you can do, by using ng g I. Interface command will be I. So ng g I and name of that interface you have to specify. Interfaces are one of the concept which is not similar to classes, but quite different from interfaces, as you know, like how it is in the programming languages like C, Java. So like that oops concept, like interfaces are similar here also, but it is a TypeScript file, somewhat difference will be there. So generating interface is ng g I interface name. Next enums. So not only in other applications, like similar way you can also create enums in this Angular also. So generating Angular enum will be similar by using similar ng g generate command. So so E should be given, ngg enum should be created, and name of that enum you have to specify. So ngg enum name, my enum likewise. Next, these are all different kind of things we have to know about Angular, like generating these kind of things from an Angular CLI, how we can be do by using this CLI commands. So other than this, we have common commands, so we can use these things as a properties or things in any command. So that we have already seen flat kind of thing while you are creating directive. I told you, like to create that in your own folder, instead of creating a new folder, we use this flat property as false likewise. So you can use flat kind of things to don't create any my component folder slash, so another component will not be created in your application. Only the directive or whatever thing will be created by giving this flat false. Okay, next you can put the template in .ts file also. So if you give inline template likewise, so that the template will be in that ts file only, so no need to do HTML kind of thing. So you can also specify that HTML kind of thing in the ts file itself. So inline template will be there if you give this dash inline template. So inline template will be present in ts file only. So so similar to that ts file, so stylings also you can do in the ts file only by giving inline style. So inline template will be there, inline style will be there. So that means in the ts file itself you will have that HTML and CSS kind of things. No need to have separate files for each individual components, like .html, .css for each all app component and login component, home component. No need to give so many types. In the ts file itself you can define that your templates things and CSS styling things, all these things can be inline only, like in that it will be present in ts file only. If you give these things by creating component, that will not create other separate files for HTML and CSS kind of things, templates. So next we have one more thing, that is SPC false. But if you don't want to do testing part in your application, then you can skip that SPC kind of thing, like that file will not be created if you give SPC as false. So testing spc.ts files will be there for each individual component that is related to unit testing, so that kind of things. So for each individual component that will be different. So if you want to skip that, you can just give this property in any of the command. This is a common command. You can give a dash spc as false, so that it will not create SPC kind of things. So this is all about general Angular CLI commands. I have explained in a good fashion, like if you follow this kind of thing and remember these things in the things which I have explained, so that you will never forget, like you will not confuse basically of generating any components or commands or anything in the Angular application. So if you are familiar with Angular kind of things, then you have to generate so many components or so many files. So instead of doing manually or creating all those folders, you can just give this command, so that will create you that kind of things in a within minutes. So it will be easy for you to create all these things through a CLI or a terminal, instead of going manual process. Hope this video will helps you, and share this videos to your friends also. I gonna say, like, this video will definitely help them who are at starting level. This will make your work easy and effective, and you will have a whole grip on that commands if you know basic things. This is the starting basic things you have to know before getting started into Angular. So in the coming videos we are going to see what is meant by component and how to create in a real environment. I will show you all these things, what are the files actually generated. Here I have also explained many things without showing you practical. If you understand each and every line which I have explained, then it will be very good to you. And if you like this video, give a big subscribe and like to this video, and comment if you have any doubts regarding to these commands, like why we use this thing and why use this thing. If you have any doubts, feel free to comment in the comment section. We'll definitely reply to your comments. And that's all for this video, and stay tuned to our channel so that you will never miss any updates and new videos related to Angular. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.